Up next on Connections, cautious optimism as the CTA releases its budget recommendations. We'll explain why that could be good news for CTA customers and even for drivers who sit through rush hour traffic. From transit to Tinseltown, you'll meet the CTA workers who appear in the new Will Ferrell flick. And we'll take you aboard the new Optima, the quiet and comfortable buses making their way through the streets of Hyde Park and Kenwood. That plus a stop at the Smart Museum of Art and a look at some amazing art pieces and collections. Getting you where you need to go with service that's on time, clean, safe, and friendly. Welcome to Connections. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Cautiously optimistic. That's the attitude of the CTA as President Frank Kruse outlines his budget recommendations for 2007.
So what is the bottom line for the 2007 budget? It is that transit is at a crossroads.
Regional transit is at a crossroads, but the CTA is confident its proposed 2007 budget will get the green light. And that will be good news for CTA customers.
My budget recommendation anticipates that new funding resources will be identified in 2007 and will enable the CTA to maintain service and fares at their current levels.
Here's a quick look at the numbers. It's a $1.133 billion budget. The CTA expects to generate more than $552 million through fares and revenue initiatives. That leaves an additional $580 million in public funding. Still with me? Okay. Of that $580 million in public funding, only $470 million has been identified. So new funding sources must now be identified for the remaining $110 million.
And it really is about growing the system. The RTA has a new chairman, a new executive director, and they are strongly supportive of additional funding for transit so transit can grow and attract new ridership. That's a fundamental change, and that happened in the last year. And because of that, the whole tone of the region about transit and working as a region together for increased transit is there. And that's the reason to be very optimistic about where the region is and where transit is and its priorities.
And the various transit service boards are working together on a joint strategic planning project called Moving Beyond Congestion.
And it is to create a new vision for public transit for the entire region, Chicago metropolitan area. This is a system that is serving the region quite well as it is, but it's not growing with the region. The growth in population and travel patterns has created an enormous congestion problem for us. Transit needs to be expanded to address that problem.
One look at this typical traffic jam on the Kennedy Expressway, and you'll understand why mass transit is a priority for the public, even those members of the public who never use the CTA.
If you think about it, for example, on the rush hour, morning rush hour along the Kennedy Expressway, close to half of the people in that entire corridor are on CTA trains. You don't think about that when you're in a car.
But you would think about it plenty should service be cut and you find yourself competing with thousands of more cars every day. An efficient transit system is something major employers think about when deciding to move or stay in Chicago.
We think it's very important when a place like Boeing decides to come, they come to Chicago and they go, my goodness, look at this mass transportation system that really works. We have a ton of employees downtown, several thousand employees, and they come downtown, they come on metro trains, they come on L's, they come on buses, and some take combinations of those to get to work.
No matter employment, leisure, or tourism, people depend on the CTA.
I use it every day to come to work. It's convenient. It's expensive to park. So CTA, for the value, I can do it.
It didn't take us long to figure out how to use the CTA, and it's really easy, it's really inexpensive, and it's made our trip worthwhile because we were stressing out with the driving, and now it's just great.
Yeah, I've lived in the city my whole life, I do have a car, but for convenience and everything, always public transportation. It's always there when I need it, no matter what the weather.
It would just be crazy to drive because there's no parking. And I come with the boys who use the bus, and they love the ride.
So, we understand that public transit is a major quality of life issue for the Chicago region. But why does the CTA need to keep increasing its budget? The increase in the cost of fuel is one reason. Also, increases in labor costs, which are set through binding arbitration.
Healthcare costs are going up, and we have to absorb that, just as other employers do. Pension costs are also increasing, and we have to deal with that, because that's also set by state law and binding arbitration.
The CTA can no longer divert capital funds to balance its operating budget. Those capital funds are critical for ongoing system expansions. Aging vehicles must be replaced and equipment maintained. The CTA's goal is simply to reach a system-wide state of good repair. One obstacle in the way is the lack of a capital funding program like the Illinois First program, which ended a few years back.
And it was critical for the CTA. If we didn't have that money, we would not have been able to gain access to literally hundreds of millions of dollars of federal funds to allow us to rebuild essential infrastructure. Again, the General Assembly understands that, and they're working to address that, and that's a good thing, because that will allow us to continue the momentum that we've had over the last several years of seeing increased ridership, increased investment in transit, and therefore increased mobility, increased competitiveness, and a higher quality of life for the entire region.
Now, the budget process still has a long way to go before it's approved by the RTA in mid-December. The President's 2007 budget recommendations are available on the CTA's website at www.transitchicago.com, at the CTA's main office, 567 West Lake Street, and at these libraries throughout the service area. And we've arrived at a Chicago destination that's quickly making a name for itself in art circles around the world. Tucked away on the University of Chicago campus is an urban masterpiece. It's the Smart Museum of Art.
The Smart Museum is one of the youngest art museums at great research universities across the country. It opened in 1974. The museum has collections ranging from the ancient world all the way up to the most contemporary art, both from the United States and Europe, but also from Asia. And so we have great strength in European and American modernism, in Asian art, both traditional and contemporary, and also a concentration in art from Chicago, which is something that other institutions in town don't do.
Brothers David and Alfred Smart were the founders of Esquire magazine. They wanted to make a contribution to the University of Chicago. This museum is the end product of their generosity.
The Smart Museum was founded later than many of its sister institutions at universities across the nation, but it has become one of the most serious university museums in the country. It produces fabulous publications every year and exhibitions, and now, in fact, among other things, our reputation has extended to China because of the work that we have done in contemporary Chinese art. So we may not be that big physically, nor that old, but we are, but our reputation is large.
The unimposing space is what draws so many repeat visitors.
I feel like this atmosphere is much more intimate, than many of those larger museums. And when I came here and I found out what an amazing collection they had, I was really kind of surprised. It's kind of small, I think, and people forget that you come here and you see things by like Rodin and Frank Lloyd Wright. Everybody who comes here, I feel like they're really rewarded by the things they find.
We have a study archive of the works of H.C. Westerman, who didn't work only in Chicago, but spent part of his formative years here. And those are wonderful, wonderful work. We have collections of his sketchbooks, his drawings, his sculpture, and it gives a real sense of how his his career really formed. We have a Child Hassan painting that was done in 1893 at the time of the Columbian World's Exposition, and it shows people walking along the lakeshore with the red guidebook to the fair. We have works by Sue Ellen Roca and Roger Brown. We have works by Richard Rezac, who, for example, will also be featured in an exhibition this fall, where we are devoted to how artists use drawing as a way of developing their ideas for work in other media.
That exhibit is called Drawing as Process in Contemporary Art.
We're going to feature work drawn from our own collection, but also have borrowed from the artists work that explains how their ideas came into being, what shaped their ideas. And we have material that in fact has never been shown publicly before. It's an opportunity really to see inside an artist's process, and I think it'll be a really fascinating project for the public.
This exhibit is one of several special exhibits hosted by the museum each year.
We do rotate things in the permanent collection galleries, but even more often we rotate our special exhibitions. We have 3 large special exhibitions every year. We have 2 smaller ones in the gallery, in the Mazer Gallery for Art Before 1900, and we also have 4 exhibitions a year in our space devoted to works on paper. That's prints, drawings, and photographs.
The museum is open Tuesday through Sunday, and everyone is welcome.
University museums are absolutely open to the public, and we encourage the public to come. The programs we do range from those we do for elementary school children all the way up to adult programs and symposia for people at the university.
If you're coming to the Smart Museum of Art, you'll of course want to play it smart and take the CTA. Here's how. When you take the CTA to get to the Smart Museum, you can also head out to one of the great restaurants in the area. And don't worry about ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. By taking CTA, you're saving on gas money and parking, plus admission to the Smart Museum is free. Just ahead on Connections, new buses that can navigate the narrow streets of Hyde Park.
My question for you is, what is your #1 reason for riding CTA?
I think it's very convenient.
Okay.
That is the most important thing. It is convenient.
So exciting to be part of the city, and it's definitely part of city life. We're really from Michigan, but we're visiting today, and of course we'd never not take the subway. You just have to do it to be in Chicago.
You don't have to worry about watching the traffic, and I can read.
I think it's a part of life in Chicago, and I think it's a fabulous part.
It's just easier to get around the city. I don't mind taking a cab if it's late at night and stuff like that, but if I have to get from place to place, it's just easier for me to take the train, read a book, relax, catch up on stuff for work, and it's convenience.
Because it's fast and convenient.
Right now, because the damn rain. That's the only reason. I hate to drive and get stuck.
I love CTA. It gets me from A to B, A to Z rather.
That's enough. All right. I've got enough. Come on! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the heck? Man!
Combining technology and teamwork while delivering dependable, affordable transit. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Here in the Hyde Park and Kenwood communities, several bus routes are taking a turn for the better. That's because these new buses are making those turns. Say hello to tighter turns, brighter colors, and wider seats. The new Optima buses are in service.
And what's important about this is this bus is narrower and shorter than our standard bus. Our standard bus is 40 feet long. This is 30 feet long. We have other buses, as you know, that are 60 feet long. And it's very hard to get around the corners in this neighborhood with a standard bus.
The Hyde Park Kenwood community is notable for the University of Chicago, as well as its historic homes and its narrow, tree-lined streets. But cars line the streets too, and that makes it difficult to maneuver larger buses.
So it's the narrowness of the bus that allows us to maneuver down an Ellis or Woodlawn, where they have the two-sided, two-way parking.
Economy of size does not equate to economy of comfort. The Optima has wider seats.
We now have 33 seats. The seat itself is a narrow profile seat. You got plenty of room to sit in it, but it's thinner. And this allows much better knee room.
And that's just one of the many features designed to provide optimal comfort and safety.
We have the very visible destination signs so people can see at a distance.
They're low floor, so it's easy to get in and out of.
We have automatic passenger counters on these vehicles. And this is very useful to our scheduling department in designing the routes and the service.
Bike racks, we have cameras for security, we have wide doors for people to get in and out of.
We also have things such as a new rear door, which all you have to do is just touch it and it opens. We also have a new paint scheme. We wanted to do something to help our customers identify the fact that this bus is a little bit different. It serves a little bit different need.
It serves the specific needs of the community. The CTA and University of Chicago have a unique partnership.
University funds substantial service improvements that we have in the whole Hyde Park Kenwood community, as we're seeing both a growth in ridership serving this community and also serving the students, faculty, and staff in a way that's very collaborative and very important.
This is nice.
You like
I might start riding a bus.
Bus operators like the Optima too.
It's real good to have, very good on terms, very economical on gas, and from an operator's point of view, it's a real nice bus, real comfortable.
An operator just this morning told me she likes the way it handles, the way it absorbs a lot of the bumps in the road, the way it turns.
And residents like the way it sounds, or should I say, doesn't sound.
These are very quiet buses. They're much quieter than any other buses that we own. So that'll also be an attraction for the neighborhoods in which we operate.
CTA has ordered 45 of the new Optima buses, which are arriving weekly. Customers riding bus routes throughout Hyde Park and Kenwood will experience the improved features as the buses continue to be placed in service.
Really, it's a terrific bus, and I'm sure our customers are going to be really happy with them.
Make sure you keep an eye out for these new Optima buses. You can't miss them.
Still to come, scenes from the new Will Ferrell movie, which also stars several CTA employees.
On an average weekday, the CTA provides nearly 1.5 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop on board, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps, and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner, enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code.
The word connection, a link, or a spark that brings people together. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections.
When Hollywood needed to find personable and charismatic people to play the role of Chicago bus operators, well, they cast their sights on the CTA. It's opening night at the Chicago International Film Festival, and the red carpet is rolled out for the Hollywood stars. The irrepressible Will Ferrell, the legendary Dustin Hoffman, and the incredulous Denise Hughes.
Everybody is like, wow. I think that's all we've been saying since this started is wow. Can you believe this?
So good luck to you!
Denise Hughes and 3 other CTA employees won roles in the new movie Stranger Than Fiction. Will Ferrell is the movie's main character. Denise plays a bus operator named Carla.
What? Hello!
I played the bus driver in Stranger Than Fiction, and they posted posters at all the bus garages, and they were looking for female bus operators, any size, any color, any age. And I just called and asked them when can I come in for an audition.
And it came down between me and Denise Hughes for the lead role of the bus driver. And it was between her and I, and she beat me out, of course, and got the lead role, and it's a wonderful thing that she did.
Karen Lloyd got another part in the movie. She shares a scene with actress Maggie Gyllenhaal.
For me, it was just an experience of a lifetime. To be able to have my name in lights under cast member, and as well as get a chance to hug and meet all of the actors and actresses that was involved in the movie.
And bus operators Lucinda Kemp and Donna Marjorie Hopkins managed to keep straight faces long enough to join Denise Hughes on the set for one of the movie's most dramatic scenes.
My big scene was I was Carla's best friend when she came into the garage with the bus after she had hit Will Ferrell. I had to be there to console her and comfort her through her trials and tribulation after she had ran over this man on the street.
Denise, she looks at me first, then she looks at Lucinda second. She hugs Lucinda. Then we do a group hug, and they have these 2 tall women over this short person, which is me. All you saw was the top of my head. That was it.
No matter how small the role, all the women say they got the full Hollywood treatment.
And they had us walking around with bodyguards, and we had our own trailer.
Queen Latifah, she took time out to take pictures with us. Emma Townsend, she took time to talk to us too, and she even invited us back to her trailer. I met everybody. I met Dustin Hoffman, Will Ferrell, Queen Latifah, Emma Thompson. They were so nice. I mean, it was like talking to my next door neighbor.
And there were other perks too.
Lunch. They set out a spread, man. I've never seen anything like it.
The film premiered at the Chicago International Film Festival. Will Ferrell arrived wearing a souvenir CTA sweater.
All the people from the crew on the movie to any sort of people who helped us out with locations and that sort of thing were so helpful and so happy that we were here.
No one was more happy than the CTA stars.
I always watch TV and say, boy, I wish I could be in that movie. And I really didn't, and then it happened. So I said, golly, this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
I say thank the Lord every day. I don't want to say it was a fluke, but it happened, and it was meant to happen. So I'm just so happy for the opportunity.
Now it's on to the next opportunity.
I would like to meet Denzel Washington. I'd like to make a movie with him.
I don't know about Denzel. I like Richard Gere.
One thing all 4 women do agree on, they won't be hopping on a bus to Hollywood anytime soon.
If it happens again, I'll take it. If not, I'll just continue doing what I do.
I like the bus. I like being with the people out there.
Oh, I love my job. It's always something new happening. It's always something exciting.
With CTA, that's a guarantee. So I can't take my chances on that. I got to stay with what I know, and that's CTA.
The CTA employees shot their scenes back in the spring of 2005, so they've been eagerly anticipating the November release of the film. Still to come, a holiday tradition that's 15 years in the making.
Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Coming soon to a CTA stop near you, a holiday tradition that's 15 years in the making. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. And for the 15th year, he's taking the CTA aboard the holiday train. Once again, Santa Claus, the elves, and some of his reindeer will be taking the CTA to spread holiday cheer. Santa's sleigh sits aboard a unique CTA flat car that allows him to greet customers and keep a close eye on the reindeer.
At nighttime, it's such a visual thing to see. This year we'll have almost 55,000 lights on the train, interior and exterior. The inside is as beautiful as the outside, and you just have to see it to really appreciate it.
Santa's car isn't the only one decked out as a holiday wonderland. Each of the 6 cars on the holiday train have been decorated to make riding an experience to remember.
This is my love. I love doing this train. This is one of the most enjoyable things that anybody, even a Santa, can ask to do, because the smiles that you get, the goodness that you give, and just watching people be happy, it means the world to me.
To ride the holiday train, CTA customers pay the standard fare. The train travels various rail lines throughout the holiday season. For more details on the holiday train schedule, call CTA customer service at 1-888-YOUR-CTA or log on at www.transitchicago.com. On an average weekday, the CTA provides nearly 1.5 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop on board, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner, enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. We want to hear your story suggestions. Do you have a travel secret you'd like to share? How about a hidden gem that's served by the CTA? And how much time and money are you saving by taking the CTA? Give us a call at the Connections Hotline. Helping you make your connections. I'm Jean Sparrow. Thank you for watching.